Good morning, welcome to Love Answers. I hope you're all really well. Today I'm going to do some Love Answers cards, which are all based around nature, fire, earth, air and water, and how nature can heal us. These will be based on my story videos on chapter 1, which is loss and heartbreak. So I'm going to shuffle the cards and let's just see what comes out. Oh, sorry, I keep doing that. Have to change the position of the stand. Okay, so we have two cards that have come out. Just bear with me because it's flown across the room. Okay, so this is amazing. These two have come out. So the first one, fire. Okay, so looking at this card, it's so amazing because this actually 100% represents when you're going through heartbreak and the first stages of heartbreak. And if I relate it to the story, this is 100% reflects the story chapters. So when you first go through heartbreak, you are in the darkness. There's no other way to describe it. You're in this dark space and everything feels intense. This is red. Red is the color of intensity. It's the color of passion. It's the color of, you know, it's fire. It's that anger energy. It's that very, very reactive energy. And look how amazing, and why I use nature is because look how amazing that picture is. Look at the colors, look at the contrast, look at the dimensions. And you look at that and you think, wow, that is really, you can see the darkness in it, but you can also see the beauty in it. There's something stunning about it. And I think that's the way I would look at that situation, because when you're going through heartbreak, you're in this and you can't quite see the bigger picture. But with time, and when you look back on that situation in years to come, you'll look at it and go, oh my gosh, I remember that darkness. I remember that intensity. I remember that feeling of that fire feeling where I feel like I've got so much anger and so much intensity inside of me. And you'll realize so many things about yourself. You'll realize how you came back from that darkness, how you overcome that horrific heartbreak, how much you can feel, how much you can love, how much capacity you have to feel those emotions. Now, if you have all that capacity to feel all of that in such intensity, flip the coin. If you took that and channeled that into something that you love, something that you want to do, something you're good at, something that other people say you're good at, if you flip the coin and channeled that level of fire, passion, energy, focus into, what could you achieve? This is powerful energy. It's extremely powerful. And there's a time when you can use that energy to kickstart your journey in another direction. And that's what I'm going to be sharing on here with the seminars and products that I'll be sharing with you. To take this energy, you can't get rid of this energy at the beginning. It's going to happen. You're going to feel it. And I think that's something that's so beautiful about life and so incredible and so amazing. Because it's only when you feel this level of intensity can you learn anything about yourself. You know, look at it as a gift. It feels uncomfortable, it feels horrible, it feels heavy, but you're going to learn so much about yourself. You're going to see yourself differently. You're going to know what you're capable of. You're going to know how much you can feel about something, how much passion you can put into something. You're going to understand differently, and that's what it's all about. That's the journey of life. It's about learning, evolving, growing. understanding things spiritually, you'll understand your journey, your path, and the more you understand, the more you'll walk on your path to your destiny. And sometimes our destiny isn't what we expect. You know, we come here and we think, well, this is what it's going to be, or it's what our desires and what we want it to be. But sometimes it's bigger, and sometimes it's better, and sometimes it's a totally different path. And we can only know that when we connect to our soul, to our spirit, to our inner journey. And you know, so many people who talk about this now, you know, there's hundreds of people who talk about connecting with the self, especially after the pandemic. And more people are doing it, which is amazing, which is fantastic. But you know, when I started this like 22 years ago, you know, not many people were into that kind of journey. And when you've tested it one way and then you've tested it the other, and you've gone through many heartbreaks, you see it differently, you understand it differently. And that's exactly what I want to share here, because life is precious, life is short, and when you're in that place of heartbreak, you feel so alone, you feel so lost, you know, and if there's one person sitting in a bed thinking, I can't do this anymore, then know 100%, I've been there, read the story, I've been there, I've done it, I know there's a way out, and I'm going to share that way out on here, or one of the ways out. There's many. It's not just what I'm showing on here, there's many channels. There's amazing channels out there, and it's like, explore everything and see what works for you. You know, one thing will work for one person at one time, something else will work for someone at another time. You know, I love yoga, and you know, when I was in my 20s, I listened to yoga. I did yoga. And if someone had said that to me at like 17, back then, I would have thought, no, that's not for me. But then when I hit my 20s, I was like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. So sometimes something may not be good, may not feel right for you at 20, but when you get to 30, it'll feel, you know, don't block it. Don't block something out your entire life. So say, for example, someone said to you, 20, meditate, and you're like, no, I'm not into meditation. But then at 30, someone says to you, why don't you try it? Don't block it out just because you blocked it out at 20, because it may be different at 30, it may be different at 40. It's a bit like watching a film. If you watch a film or read a book, if you watch a film or read a book at 20, when you read it at 30, it's a completely different experience. If you read it at 40, it's a completely different experience. So, you know, never say never, because sometimes life brings you things. If something comes to you, try it, you know, from a healing perspective. If it's something that's healing, try it and see where it takes you. Okay, so weirdly, this is the other card that came out, Fire Again. And this is exactly why I love nature. And nature, I believe nature is the healer, because, you know, if you see the intensity of this one that we just looked at, they're the same scene. They're exactly the same place. And look how they change. Look how the scenery changes. And if we think about nature, as much as you're in that dark place in that first image, this place is much lighter, it's much calmer, it's much brighter. It's got the same depth, the same definition, the same beauty, but there's a lightness to it. And this is how quickly you can change. You can go through all of these stages, like nature, like the sky, like the water, like the earth. You can change. You know, we're the same. We change as nature changes. And this is a perfect example. You can go from that fire, dark energy into the vibrant light energy, the stillness, the calmness, the clarity, the bliss, the beauty. So, you know, and I guess why I'm showing you these through nature is to show you that there is hope, and it doesn't vanish just because you're in a dark place or in a bad place or hurting. You know, we all hurt. It's okay to hurt. You know, you can't, we're human. But we can accelerate that healing so that we don't waste precious lifetime. And if any of you are into crystals, there's some really, really amazing crystals that help with healing. And I will be going over those as we go through the channel. I will be kind of dedicating some videos to the crystals that are really great for healing, because I use crystals much later on my journey, but some incredible things have happened when I've used crystals. And again, they're from Mother Earth. They're what, you know, crystals come from earth beneath our feet. It's our grounding, it's our foundation, it's our strength. And it has great power, it has great energy. It's not power, it's energy. Everything's energy. And it's keeping your vibration on that level of the good energy. And you can do that by really simple techniques. And again, coming back to the candle, light the candle, bring light into the room, bring light, life and energy into your room. Even if you're crying, even if you're screaming, even if you're on the floor, even if you're heartbroken, no matter what you're doing, light the candle. It will change the mood of the room. And there's nothing more beautiful actually than when you light a candle and you're crying, because there comes such a calmness and a peace when you're looking at a candle flame, or similar to looking into a fire, into a log fire. There's something so hypnotic about it and so healing about it. You know, it's warmth and it's energy. So get your candle, light your candle, and make it kind of as cozy as possible. And just know that it's going to be okay. It will change, it will shift, and you will feel better. Okay, have an amazing day. Stay strong, stay focused, and stay happy.